So, what if you could build some serious wealth with just a few small habits that you do every single day? Well, today we're diving into a powerful blueprint for financial success. We're going to break down the simple money moves that can literally change everything for you. Let's jump right in.
I know what you're thinking. That sounds way too good to be true, right? But here's the thing. The core idea we're exploring today is that massive results, well, they don't always require massive action. The biggest changes in your life often start with these tiny, almost unnoticeable steps. Steps so small, you can do them in less than a minute.
So, we're using a fantastic book outline as our roadmap here. It lays out this super clear path, taking you from the absolute basics all the way to financial success. And you know where this journey starts? With the most important asset you have.
That's right. Before you even think about saving a single dollar, before you invest anything, the very first move happens right between your ears. It all, and I mean all of it, starts with how you think and feel about money. It's actually pretty simple when you think about it. Your beliefs about money, whether you see it as this amazing tool for growth or just a constant source of stress, that belief is going to dictate every single financial decision you make. It's like the operating system running your entire financial life. So, what's the very first action that comes from a healthy money mindset? It's this one simple, incredibly powerful rule. Before you pay your rent, before you pay your bills, before you even buy groceries, you set aside money for your future self. It's not about saving what's left over after spending. It's the very first, most important bill you pay every single time. Okay, so once you've got that mindset locked in, the next step is to build a daily system. This is where we create those small, everyday habits that make your financial progress feel completely automatic. Now, the foundation of any good system is clarity. And that means you have to get really honest about the difference between what you truly need, like housing, food, the essentials, and what you simply want. It's a really simple distinction, but honestly, it's where most budgets either succeed or completely fall apart. And this gives us a fantastic, easy framework to start with. The 50-30-20 rule is just a brilliant guide. 50% of your income goes to your needs, 30% you can spend on your wants, and that last 20%, that's non-negotiable. It goes straight to savings and investments. But even with a great budget, it's those tiny, frequent expenses that can really trip us up. People often call this the latte factor, and it's the perfect example of how these minor daily choices can have a huge, huge financial impact over time. Let's just take a common example. A fancy coffee, maybe a snack from the vending machine, or that subscription service you totally forgot about. It might only be about, say, $7 a day. Feels like nothing, right? Insignificant. But look at this. That little $7 a day habit adds up to over $2,500 in a year. Just think about that. That's a vacation. That's a serious chunk to invest, or a massive boost to your emergency fund. It just goes to show you there's no such thing as just a few dollars. So how do you stay on top of it all? With this simple 60-second daily check-in. It's just a quick glance. Okay, where did my money go yesterday? Did my automatic savings transfer go through? Yep. What's my balance? Done. That's it. This tiny habit keeps you in the driver's seat. All right, now that we've built a solid defense for our money with saving and budgeting, it is time to go on offense. This next stage is all about actively growing your income. Let's be real. The economy is changing fast, and just relying on a single paycheck is becoming more and more risky. The real key to security and growth these days is diversification, not just in where you invest, but in where your money comes from in the first place. So, how do you actually do that? Well, it could be as simple as turning something you love, like photography or baking, into a side hustle that brings in cash. Or you could build digital assets, like an ebook or a course, that literally generate income while you sleep. The whole point is to find a path that uses the skills and interests you already have. Okay, so you're saving money, you're earning more money. The next step is the real game changer. This is the accelerator, making your money start working for you through investing. This right here is probably the most powerful force in all of finance. Compound interest is basically your money making babies, and then those babies make more babies. It's a slow little snowball at first, but you give it time, and it becomes this unstoppable avalanche of wealth. And just look at how this plays out in real life. Investing just $100 a month, it seems pretty small. But after 10 years, it's a nice little sum. At 20 years, you can see that growth curve really starts to take off. And by year 30, the growth is just explosive. That is the magic of compounding right there in front of you. So where do you put that money to work? Well, the two most common places to start are stocks and bonds. Here's the simple version. Buying a stock means you own a tiny piece of a company. It has higher potential for growth, but also more risk. Buying a bond is kind of like lending money to a company or a government for a fixed return, which is generally a lot safer. But for most of us, especially when we're starting out, picking individual stocks is, well, it's pretty daunting. And that's where this brilliant solution comes in: index funds. An index fund basically lets you buy a tiny piece of the entire stock market all in one go. You're instantly diversified, it's super low cost, and it's a proven strategy for long-term growth.
So let's bring all these different pieces together now. We've talked about your mindset, building systems, earning more, and investing. The very last step is about designing the future that all this hard work is actually for.
And this is the ultimate goal, right? Financial freedom isn't really about being rich in the way you see in movies. It's about having options. It's that amazing point where the income from your investments is enough to cover your lifestyle, which means you work because you want to, not because you have to. And we get to that freedom by building a system that just runs on autopilot. A system where you're automatically paying yourself first, your investments are growing through the power of compounding, and your income is coming from different places. It's a machine you build once that then works for you forever. You know, at the end of the day, every single dollar you spend or save or invest is a vote for the kind of life you want to live. Your money is telling a story, and you're the one writing it every single day. So after seeing this whole blueprint, the only question left is the one you see right here. What will your next chapter be?